These are some of the easiest rolls you'll ever make, called Havregrødsboller or oatmeal rolls. They're made with just a few ingredients: oats, flour, water, salt, and yeast. You don't even have to shape them, just spoon them onto a baking sheet and bake. They're soft and comforting with a nice crust, and the flavor is so delicious thanks to the oats. I top mine with butter and raspberry jam, but they're great with cheese, Nutella, for sandwiches, or even burgers. Most importantly, they're easy to throw together if you want to make homemade rolls for the family. We start with rolled oats or old-fashioned oats and add warm water. Let this sit for a half an hour to an hour, just until the oats have absorbed the water. To the soaked oats, add more warm water and instant or active dry yeast, then add 300 grams of flour, plain or all-purpose works, as does bread flour, and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. From here, you could just let this rise in the fridge overnight if you want to bake the rolls the next morning, or you could let it rise for an hour and a half at room temperature. We like to throw in a couple of these stretch and folds to give it some elasticity and structure, which we do every 20 minutes as it rises. But obviously, if you don't have time for this and you just want to let it rise, you can do that. To complete a stretch and fold, simply wet your hand and pull the edges of the dough up and into the center, rotating the bowl as you go. Before, you saw me doing it from a distance, and in this clip you can see the close-up. It's a simple process that replaces kneading in more hydrated doughs, including sourdough, for example. Once you're ready to bake, preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius, and place a roasting pan at the bottom of the oven to preheat as well. You'll also want to add about 200 to 300 milliliters to a kettle to boil, and prepare your baking sheet with parchment paper. Now it's time to shape the dough, which really is so simple. Just dip a spoon in some water and scoop up spoonfuls of the dough to plop on the baking sheet. Don't worry if they look a little bit uneven, but they should be about the same size since you're using the same size spoon to scoop them all. If you notice any bits of dough poking out or anything like that, you'll want to dip your finger in some water and shape the scoops into more of a round shape, because you don't want any of those pieces that are sticking up to burn. Then just use a sharp knife to score the tops of the rolls and place them in the oven. Immediately pour the boiling water into the pan at the bottom of the oven and close the door. This traps the steam and helps the rolls get a nice crust as they bake. Bake for 25 to 30 minutes until lightly golden brown with a nice crust. They won't get any more brown than this because they don't have an egg wash and there's no sugar in the dough, but they have an amazing crust. Listen to this. Enjoy them fresh out of the oven with plenty of butter on top, and the next day, just quickly reheat them in the microwave or toast them. The recipe is linked on this video. It just doesn't get any easier to make homemade bread.